and everything. Matt Rhule went on Peter Schrager's podcast. I'll just play the clip for you real quick, and then we'll talk about it.
Thing you learned from your 2.5 years in the NFL as a head coach, and in the same vein, if you could do it all over again, what would be the one thing you would change looking back on it, as obviously it didn't work out with Super Bowl victories or anything like that?
I think it probably taking another job. I mean, it's a great place, the wonderful people, but I just don't know if I was a fit there. At the end of the day, we talked about a 4-year plan, 5-year plan. If you tell me we got a 2-year plan, and then I'm going to go get some free agents and do it. So, what was a 4-year plan became a 2-year and 5-game plan real quick. And
interesting.
It's not about and I'm not angry about it.
No.
At the end of the day, I understand, but if it's going to be that quick, then we're going to sign some more free agents. We're going to go make the blockbuster trade. We're going to do those things. I think the trajectory that we were on was correct. It was to have a team that next year could maybe make a big trade that could, and I think you see the signs of it right now. When they play well on offense, they win. There's a good defense there. And I give Steve all the credit. I give the coaches all the credit, but I'm part of that building process. And so, and that just stayed for maybe through this year, and maybe the big free agent signing this year to get them over the top. I think that the Panthers could win the NFC South for years to come.
And they still might win it.
Okay. That part at the end, when he tries to take a little credit, is what bothers me.
That bothers me too. A lot of narcissism there. A lot of self-centered qualities right there for him taking any form of credit for the Panthers' recent somewhat of a turnaround.
It's all Steve Wilks.
It is.
It's all Steve Wilks.
And him coming out about the whole 5-year plan BS, whatever. Well, when you show no progress in 2.5 years, what are you going to do? Like, you get your choice at quarterback. You're the one who's deciding who to bring in. You're trying to put a Band-Aid on a bullet hole with the quarterback situation. He had a lot of say in that. I'm not saying it's all Matt Rhule, but he had a lot of say in that. And if he was showing substantial progress, linear progress, he probably would have been let go.
And then he also had the audacity to say he wasn't in charge of draft picks when he legitimately was in charge of draft picks. He literally was the one who decided, we shouldn't draft a quarterback. Let's go Darnold. We shouldn't do this. He's a literal phony. He's just he's a used car salesman as a NFL football coach somehow. His agent deserves he's the best agent in sports. There's no other agent. I want him as my agent. If I ever do anything, I want Matt Rhule's agent. He got an 8-year deal with Nebraska. You know what? He might do fine in college. He might. He did well at Temple. He did well at Baylor. Couldn't do jack crap in the NFL. He might do well in Nebraska. Who knows? But if you watch that Nebraska press conference, what's funny as a Panthers fan, every Panthers fan that watched that press conference just rolled their eyes and they're like, oh my gosh, the same bull crap. It's the same bull crap.
It is. And for a guy who just prioritized signing Temple and Baylor alumni in the NFL, like what do you really expect? I mean, that's all he wanted to do. The thing is, he can't take any of the credit, like I said, for this Panthers' recent turnaround, for their chance to win the NFC South, because he's trying to be like, I set up this roster so well, and they let me go, and then now.
Then why didn't you do well with it?
And all my plans are coming to fruition. Yeah, give me a break.
The other thing I wanted to bring up about this, and then we'll move on, the fact that people wanted to bring him back another year, it was clear he was not the guy. It was clear there was no hope going into the season, unless you're delusional like me and can talk themselves into anything. Matt Rhule was clearly not the guy. He was a lame duck head coach. Why are you rolling into a season with a person you know is not going to be the coach at the end of the season? We all knew that. And you still give the guy a chance? Fire him. Let's go. This season
fresh off an extension too.
Ugh. This team is totally different if Matt Rhule is fired before the season. And everyone talks, you got to give this coach a chance. You got to give that coach a chance. But when you know it, like Cliff Kingsbury is not the guy in Arizona. He should have been fired before the season. And he gets the extension, which is crazy. And yes, he did make the playoffs. Cliff Kingsbury, whatever. That roster's frankly too talented to be as bad as they are. But that's the Cardinals. We're talking about the Panthers.
And Matt Rhule lost the locker room early on this season. Like, that's one of the main things you can't do in professional sports. We talked about it in the NBA, is to lose the locker room. You've got to manage the players' egos, have them believe in what you're doing. That's a major part of it, because at the end of the day, they're all professionals.
At the end of the day, as Matt Rhule likes to say a lot.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. I know.
He ran it like a college program. He was dictating social media posts, and there's a bunch of other rumors swirling around we won't get into from Twitter Spaces.
It's going to come out.
If you want to find out about all that other stuff, go on Twitter and just type in Matt Rhule. It was bananas today. But anyhow, moving on from Matt Rhule,
I do have one thing on it. I do have one
Oh.
thing on it. So I was baffled, and I'm honestly baffled because he said they would have made the big blockbuster trade, right? Did they not make the big blockbuster trade with Sam Darnold? I'm confused. Was that
They
I
made
don't
a
know.
blockbuster
I don't
trade.
know.
It's called shipping McCaffrey to San Francisco. That was the blockbuster trade, but it wasn't in their favor.
No, I kid. Honestly, like you guys said, like putting the band-aid on the quarterback situation was 100% what they did. It looked like a program that like the Panthers looked like it was like fighting itself in direction. It felt very disjointed.
They were just grasping at straws trying to fix all their problems at one time. It just didn't really work out. And you knew it was from early on. If you have fans that knew it from early on, then
All right, I have an idea. What if, hear me out here, Matt Rhule became the new spokesman of Flex Seal? You see him on those NBA TV commercials selling Flex Seal. I think he would be perfect.
He would be perfect because
He's
he
already
already tried to use Flex Seal on his team the entire time he was there.
he's got the look down. He's got the look down already.
He's got the sales pitch because, I mean, my gosh, people still get fooled into it. But anyhow, let's stop talking about Matt Rhule real quick. The Panthers are winning the NFC South. I've been texting you guys all week. I've been tweeting it out. I even put it on Reddit. I have fully convinced myself into the Panthers winning the NFC South. Sam Darnold was throwing some dimes out there against the Broncos. A great defense, probably the best defense in the NFL, and he was putting on a show. He did.
He
and
was.
his under passing yards still hit, so it was a great
He looked
day.
great. He looked great.
He did. He was making some pretty good throws, and we saw at the beginning of last year. And that's what I was thinking. Like when he comes back, I wouldn't be shocked if he puts together a few wins. I'm sitting here with the Panthers.
A favorable schedule.
I'm sitting here with Panthers over 6.5 wins ticket from the preseason. So who knows?
I have my Panthers over 6.5. I doubled down on the division. Let's see here. All right, let me read you the Panthers schedule. Panthers, Seahawks. The line's currently out at 7.5. Love the Panthers +7. Kidding me? Coming off a bye. I think the Panthers win that game.
I took the Panthers already +7.
Dylan, yep. Geno Smith is a fraud. Geno Smith can't go against the best defense in the NFL against Geno Smith against the Carolina. Geno Smith against the Carolina Panthers defense. Something to be scared about.
Geno Smith's not a fraud by any means. I don't know about that one. You know me. I think the Carolina Panthers have a good defense. They have a good to, I will say, great defense. It's the offense that scares me.
Sam Darnold is good now.
Now, I will say, I remember sitting at a house in Pennsylvania. It was with one of my ex-girlfriends. It was Rose Bowl 2017.
Whoa. We don't like that.
We were watching USC Ohio State Rose Bowl, and I saw
big
Sam
Abby
Darnold.
fan over here.
You got that right. I'm a big Abby fan here too. But I remember watching USC play, and I was like, this Sam Darnold guy, like he's got an arm on him. He's going to be a good quarterback. And I think he's probably the best case scenario for the Panthers right now.
100%.
So
PJ Walker stinks. Baker Mayfield, his career's done. He's going to be doing progressive commercials as an extra. All right, let's go through this Carolina schedule real quick, and then we'll start previewing games. Pittsburgh at home. We can win that game.
Yeah.
Detroit at home, Christmas Eve. We can win that game.
Okay.
All right. You guys are cooking now.
I'm liking this so far.
At Tampa Bay, we already demolished Tampa Bay this year. Tampa Bay stinks. Our defense, if Brady gets pressure on him, he sucks this year. That offensive line in Tampa Bay is very sketchy. Brian Burns is going to get like 2 to 3 sacks on Brady. I think we beat him.
That's a loss.
That might be a loss.
That's one of the losses.
That might be a loss. That might
just one of them.
All right. And then Carolina at New Orleans. Superdome scares me. Superdome, Andy Dalton, 2 ginger quarterbacks facing off. I don't know if that's ever happened before. So spooky stuff is going down.
I'm sure it's happened. Happened.
Has Andy Dalton ever played someone? Has
he ever played Brandon
Andy
Williams?
Dalton? Oh, Andy Dalton, Sam Darnold. Has that ever happened? It had to have, right?
Oh,
Probably.
had to. Bengals, Jets. Yeah,
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. I'll have to get into research, see what happened in that game. But 5 wins in a row. We're 9-8.
Oh my, bro.
Yeah. That's the
schedule's
division.
favorable.
The division
schedule's
wins
super
at 8. If you win at 8-9, you win the division.
I agree.
And
There's
we
a
have
chance.
the tie. We have the tiebreakers.
That
division
game against the
blows.
Falcons where DJ Moore took his helmet off hurts a lot more now. They're actually have a chance to win the division.
Yeah.
But we're also kind of in a great spot. We're already at a top 5 pick. If we lose against the Seahawks, then we can just tank and get a top 5 pick.
Mm.
Then we can take CJ Stroud.
So you can take CJ
Oh.
Stroud.
And
Exactly.
with CJ Stroud and then trade up for Will Levis. Let's just have a party. All right, let's move on.
Real quick, I got the stats guy on the Bengals Jets from 2019. It looks like we did have Andy Dalton versus Sam Darnold.
Who won?
The Bengals won 22-6. Sam Darnold threw for 239 yards, no interceptions, no touchdowns, 4 sacks.
See, that's not his fault. Zach Wilson's going through the same thing.
Well, it could be.
Zach Wilson
Okay,
kept in
all
this
right.
game.
It's not Zach's fault.
Look,
Real question, real
I'm
quick.
sure that Bengals defense was straight dog shite then too, bro. I bet you it was nowhere near what it is now.
Okay, but real quick about Zach Wilson. If he doesn't say that in the press conference, is he starting? Was he starting against the Bears?
No,
I
don't
think he
so.
is.
I don't think so.
And guess what? Newsflash: he would have won that game, bro. Like he's 5-2 as a starter. The only games he's lost is to New England. That's it.
He would have won this. Yeah, he would have won.
He
the
would not have
division.
been the same stats though. I can promise you that. He would not have thrown the same.
I don't know
stats
if you can
as
promise that. I don't know if you can promise that. That Bears defense is garbage.
I mean, they literally it was wide open. Like there's 5 yards of separation. I think on the most they've ever had in the NFL this year. Like people were so open. Like 5 yards of separation in the highest clip in the NFL. That's crazy, bro.